So, hello, Stu.
Glenn, how are you?
Oh, fantastic. Now, I say that with such a fervor because we have some good news. Russia just announced that they are releasing the Wall Street Journal reporter, Evan Gershkovich, and former U.S. Marine Paul Whelan. Now, this was part of a prisoner swap that the U.S. and Russia have just made. We don't know who they swapped for these two, but I'm sure it was a favorable deal for us.
Always is. Always is. I love your optimism, Glenn. That's the right way to do it.
Thank you.
We typically in these moments, what the administration wants us to do is engage in a benefit analysis. And I think the benefit analysis is really good. Like, I really want these people back. We've talked about them a bunch of times.
Me too.
We highlight hostages that are kept in areas, unlike other networks you might see at the bottom corner of our screen. American hostages, 299 days in Gaza. We focus on this. Everyone else seems to ignore them. But the benefit analysis here is good. The problem may wind up being when you do a cost-benefit analysis. And we don't like to do that with policies. And we don't always like to look at hostages in that same way. It's difficult, of course, to look at it that way. But I am very worried as to what happened here. What did we give up for these two hostages?
Yeah. Seeing that those details were not immediately available, I have a feeling it's probably not good. Now, here's something else. I mean, these geniuses, they have their finger on the pulse of the American people, and they're making good deals, really good deals. The next story that I found just kind of, fascinating. U.S. lawmakers are a little upset with the Biden-Harris administration. Plea deals have been reached now for the 3 Islamic terrorists who carried out 9/11. Prosecutors have entered into a pre-trial agreement. These guys haven't been tried yet. Pre-trial agreement with 9/11 mastermind Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and Walid Muhammad Salih and Mubarak bin Atash. Oh, and Mustafa Ahmed Adam El Harswai. Okay, so what they've done is in exchange for the removal of the death penalty as a possible punishment. These 3 accused have agreed to plead guilty to all of the charged offenses, including the murder of 2,976 people listed in the charge sheet. Now, if there is anyone that deserves execution, I think it's somebody who killed 3,000 people. I think it might be somebody who, perpetrated the largest terrorist attack the world had seen. But maybe not. Maybe we just we sent our troops over because we didn't really mean it. We were just doing a photo op. Maybe all of those soldiers, those U.S. soldiers, died for a photo op. Because I think that's what happened in Afghanistan, right? Wasn't that a big photo op? Wasn't that just something we did? And then we're like, you know what? I'm kind of tired of this. We got enough photos. And so then we just pull out. And it was a beautiful, beautiful exit that we made. Now, just to complete the circle, no death penalty for these guys. So that's good.
Not even the trial. Like, so if you are a family of someone who lost people in 9/11, and many of these families are complaining about this, they don't even get the questioning. They don't get the evidence. They don't get a trial, a punishment. They skip all of that. Potential inclusion in their closure process. That's all gone. He just gets to say, I'm guilty, and it's over.
What would be another reason not to have a trial? To just, sure, saving money. and our government is so frugal, saving time, because, wow, they've put a lot of research into this, almost 25 years of research. That's a speedy trial for you, don't you think? And then on top of that, what else could there be? Why wouldn't the government want a trial?
I mean, we can only venture guesses at such a thing, but some might think that if an entire trial were to go on, we might learn some things about how the government handled this situation, who they were dealing with, what arrangements were made for potentially government officials from other countries. There's maybe something they might not want us to know about.
Wow, I didn't even think of that. Wow, what a conspiracy theorist. By the way, speaking of conspiracy theorists, the New York Times has an op-ed out. Right-wing lawmakers, I'm sorry, this is not an op-ed. This is a story. Right-wing lawmakers and candidates have made baseless suggestions that the shooting was orchestrated by Democrats or government actors who targeted former President Donald J. Trump. Representative Eli Crane, an Arizona Republican, former Navy SEAL, says he is no conspiracy theorist. But in the weeks since the attempted assassination of Donald J. Trump, he has made the baseless suggestion that the shooting was part of a coordinated campaign by Democrats or shadowy government actors to try to stop the former president from reclaiming the White House. Not only did they try to bankrupt him, but they tried to put him in prison, Mr. Crane told Orvitz, a right-wing radio personality in Arizona. When that didn't work, they tried to put him in prison for 750 years. And many of us said the next step in this escalation for them is try to kill him because they can't beat him fair and square. An appearance on the Glenn Beck program, Mr. Crane, who traveled to the Pennsylvania rally site where Mr. Trump was shot to conduct his own investigation, said, I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but at the same time, I don't want to, rule anything out because I don't put it past some of the people in our government to do anything necessary to hold on to power. That is such a wild, baseless allegation that somebody in this vast government would do something unethical or wrong or immoral to hold on to power or to shoot a guy that they are convinced is Hitler. How crazy is that? I mean, that is just tinfoil hat crazy.
Yeah, how can you possibly blame people for having their minds wander to outlying possibilities at this point? I'm pretty sure I saw footage yesterday of the shooter building a Ferris wheel next to the speech grounds and going to the top of it to see if he can get a clear shot, and then deconstructing it right in front of Secret Service officers. Everything that you could possibly think. The guy was, now there's footage of him just running back and forth on the roof in the background, and no one does anything. I'm saying,
here, hang on just a sec. Play that video.
Can we bring him up for a couple of minutes? You get ready.
You can see the head in the background in the red circle.
The world will see a vibrant Republican Party.
I mean, it's like, how it is inexplicable, and this comes from a person who is very skeptical of the government competence. Like I'm really usually unfazed by government doing something pathetically incompetent, and that does always almost explain everything. But could be.
It could just be incompetence. It might be, but to not consider that it might be something else is ridiculous, especially the way they've been behaving on hoarding all of the information and only releasing things when it seems to be good for them. It is really not good.